take the red pill, you stay in Wonderland. And I show you how deep the rabbit hole goes.
Welcome to Life in Red.
Welcome back. We're back.
Yeah!
Hey. Friend of the show, Clarissa Barron, back with your friend Nick. I didn't get your last name.
Maillet. Maillet.
Excellent. Remember that name. Episode 24. We're back after a little layover because holy shit, my life has been busy. But you reached out to me because we promised the last time you were on and you had something to promote, you were going to come back on.
I asked you, please have me back.
Have me back.
When my life is better.
Funny note, and we were talking about this a little bit before the show. You had the highest rated podcast, the most listened to podcast for quite a while. You had the record for like 5 months.
I'm honored.
And now you're like third.
Well, I'm still top 3. So.
Top 3, that's good. That's better than I do in most things in
You're
life.
also the only podcast I'm on.
Really?
Yeah.
I feel like you could be doing more podcasts.
I know.
You're so
I had a conversation
opinionated.
about this 2 days ago.
I know.
That's-
Everyone always tells me to start a podcast, and I'm like, but everyone has a podcast now.
Yeah,
that was
but
the name of the podcast. Everyone and their mother.
yeah,
Yeah.
but the key is most people are going to drop out after about a year.
You're right.
Right? Like most people, just like you start the gym at the new year, you're like,
Yeah.
I'm going to go to the gym, and then a month later, no one has the drive or passion to get through it. So
You're not wrong.
I always felt you should have more of a YouTube channel, though, because
well,
you always do the
I
video
tried that,
things.
Ryan, remember?
Yeah, you were doing well, weren't you?
I was doing well, but I just got lazy. I work full time. I'm tired.
It is tiring.
But now I'm in a play, so
You're in a play.
I'm in a play.
I didn't know that. No, that's why you're here. Okay, you sent me this card, so I'm going to read out the information here.
Okay.
As we record this is June 11th, 2019. As this comes out, it's going to be June 12th, 2019. The play starts on Thursday.
Absolutely.
So you're probably listening to this on the 12th. So it's be here tomorrow in Ottawa. It's called Happy Birthday, Claire. So we've got a lot of different things to talk about here as you guys
Tons.
look at your card.
Yeah.
Tell me about it, because obviously I look at this and looks like a couple friends, a sitcom, maybe a little Big Bang Theory.
Absolutely nailed it.
Oh, absolutely right on the nose.
Really?
Killed it. Yeah,
Yeah.
branding on point. Clearly we did a good job.
Yeah,
branding.
okay. So tell me Happy Birthday, what is it about?
The way I've been describing it is it's literally an episode of Friends with an alien.
Pretty
And
much.
Wasn't that the show with Robin Williams back in like the 80s?
Which one's that?
I saw it on a documentary
It's
once.
like Bert or something.
Anyways.
We're not gonna
Okay.
do that, yeah.
I was born in 95. I don't know.
Yeah,
no
he's
reference.
young.
Young
It's fine.
So, okay,
Alf.
it's like Alf
It's Alf.
a little bit.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so what's the context of it? So now we know what it's about. What give me a little like tease of what it is, a description, and what people can, if you're coming into it, what are you going to expect?
Well, you've been saying that it's going to be the happiest show of
Yes.
Fringe, almost guaranteed.
Probably the happiest show you'll see at Fringe.
Okay.
Because, first of all, Fringe is known for very deep, conversation-provoking pieces and just really weird stuff.
And we're definitely just having a good time.
We're just definitely really happy. It's a PG show, which is good fun for the whole family,
Gotta
which
keep
is
that
shocking.
fucking PG rating.
Fucking PG
This
rated.
podcast is not PG.
Thank God though, because we were talking
Rehearsals are not PG.
Rehearsals are not PG. Nothing about us as individuals is PG, but we're in this show, and it's quite weird because literally Nick and I knew nobody. We didn't know anybody
We didn't
from
know
this
each
show.
other.
We didn't even know each other.
Okay, that's few things here. So Ottawa Fringe we're going to get to, because a lot of
Okay.
people who are listening to this
No idea
don't know
what it
what
is.
Ottawa
Perfect.
Fringe is. So what is it about? Like you given me like these little
Little
very
hints.
You want the
Here,
plot?
let me give you-
generic.
Let me give you a quick synopsis.
Yeah, the plot. Like I got a very generic
So
view,
there's
but let's
this
get deep
there's
into
this
it.
girl. Her name is Claire. She's turning 25. She is a office assistant, and her little sister Alex, who is an aspiring actor, throws a surprise birthday party for her. Invites her old friend Renee, played by Clarissa.
Okay, you're Renee.
Yeah,
Okay.
Renee.
Renessa.
No.
So Renee, Clarissa's character, comes in and she is, well, you can tell them about your character.
First of all, very successful published author who has written a interstellar romantic teen novel. called Forbidden Cosmos, and she has a YouTube channel as well, which is really hilarious.
What's the name of that?
That sounds like something you do.
Yeah,
in
no,
real life.
everyone says this is just me.
You are typecast very much.
Literally, the director was like, "I knew your YouTube channel before you even auditioned," and I was like, "That's great and also terrifying." So basically, she invites her over, and then she has her boyfriend John, who Nick plays my boyfriend.
Me. Yes.
And he's a very successful Instagram model.
So we have an author.
My life is what's that?
An author and an Instagram model.
Yes. We're basically we're supposed to be like the epitome of success.
And I'm kind of British.
Okay.
And he's kind of British.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So you all go to this birthday party.
Yeah, and we try to Claire is just not having it. Basically, she's not feeling really good. She's really jealous of Renee. It just isn't a good vibe. They haven't seen each other in a long time, and
over
then
3 years, yeah.
And then an alien crashes the party, and we'll just leave it at that.
Okay.
That's
interesting.
You'll have to come see it to see how it ends.
I love that. That's what I'm going to say. So if we're talking about Ottawa Fringe, and again, we're going to talk about it in a bit, but again, these are the really artsy people, I think, of our city of Ottawa that come in. It's one women shows about feminists,
absolutely,
taking over the world. It just, I'm not putting that in a negative light, but it's just very people who are just really trying to make a point about something.
It gives people. Well, the Fringe in itself is a lottery, and it gives everyone a chance, equal chance, whether you're an amateur artist, professional artist. It gives everyone a chance to get their voice and what they want to say out on the stage.
Okay.
So Fringe really
That makes
offers
sense.
everybody a platform, from magic acts to comedy routines to one-act shows. It's giving everybody a chance on an equal playing field to get their voice, and it's the most fair way for your voice to be represented on stage.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and that's why you have some real banging bops that are amazing and people love them. For example, we're sharing a venue with
Fuck Boys the
musical.
musical?
No, don't even say it. Don't even promote them.
Fuck Boys the musical.
No, I'm going to see it.
We're gonna go see it. And it's just it just sounds good and relatable, right? Fuck Boys the musical. Yeah, I'd go see that.
It's just relatable.
But that also means that there's gonna be some terrible shows. Inevitably. Inevitably. It's a lottery, right?
But that's the great thing is that, Fringe is, I think, a hit or a miss. This is my first time participating in a Fringe festival. And look at us. We're like, oh, there's definitely going to be some shit ones out there. But at the same time, it's still such a really nurturing environment for artists to explore. So
Yeah.
Absolutely.
even if, I don't like using that word shit.
I mean, not what you expect, maybe we can say.
Unpolished.
Unpolished. It's raw. It's raw. It's
Raw.
unfiltered. Sometimes, because you are trying to do it as cheap as possible because no one has money to make these shows.
Of course.
And sometimes you can't get the right director, or you just don't have a director. It's a completely self-made work. And sometimes shows need that outside eye. Actually, I believe all of them need that outside directorial eye to look at something.
One of the fun things, I've never been to Fringe, but when I think about art and when I think about, performances and entertainment in this kind of form that's local or amateur, this is the place where you can have, I'm not saying every person who's going to participate is going to become a star, but this is the things you need to do to either explore yourself and get into it, or it's, someone finds you at this thing. I don't know if agents come and watch it, but this is how you refine the product too. Say you're a comedian and you're working on your bit. This is the type of stuff that you need to do in order to try to launch your career path. I remember I had an employee working for me, and one of the things they were quitting, and then we had an exit interview, and one of the things they talked about was that I want to be an actor. I'm like, okay, well, what are you doing to try to do that right now? And they're like, oh, well, I kind of goof around with my friends and we do some stuff. I'm like, well, that's great. It's a good start. But when I think of what you need to do, the Ottawa Fringe, that's what you need to do for this type of stuff. Explore it. And maybe you're terrible, but you're going to get better with practice. Or maybe you're just I really hated that. I'm not going to do it again.
Exactly.
Yeah. Or you learn. I am so stoked because I've just learned so much already, and I'm such an amateur. It's
amateur.
Say that word one more time.
Yeah.
Amateur.
I hear the artsiness coming out of
Amateur.
you.
I just like saying that more than amateur.
So
Remember when I called Chris Neal an amateur?
Yeah.
Never forget. I'm so sorry.
I'm surprised he didn't try to fight you.
He literally was like, this chick is so chill because she just doesn't care.
So both of you were like, you're not professional playwrights or actors or actresses by trade.
I'm on my way.
Path.
Okay, you're trying. So this is something you're trying to do, or you're pursuing.
I went to theater school in Toronto.
Okay,
and now I'm in Ottawa, where I grew up, and doing it.
Okay, so then this goes right to back what I was kind of talking about.
Absolutely.
Cutting your chops and stuff like that. So, I mean, what's that world like? Because I've met some people in the music. I've met people who are trying to actually pursue being actors or actresses. I guess everyone calls actors now, from what I see.
You're just an actor.
Yeah, okay.
I would never be like, I'm an actress.
What's that world like? Because from what I understand, like especially up here in Canada, this is in Hollywood. So like,
so you'd be surprised.
It's emerging. It's like happening. It's like this is a good time to try.
Yeah. Like Toronto is booming.
Vancouver.
It's cheaper. It's cheaper to film. All these American companies are coming to Toronto and filming there. And like, if you look at Suicide Squad, the destroyed city that it is Dundas Square. Mm-hmm. And like so much stuff is happening in Toronto. Ottawa just announced, I believe, last year that there's like a multi-million-dollar sound studio that's going up right on the green belt. And,
is that right?
Yeah. So like that's amazing. That's going to bring a lot of like Ottawa has a really underground film making community that within the past 8 months I've really gotten to dive into and meet a lot of really good people. Everyone's always doing festivals like Shits and Giggles or the Digi60 festival. Like there's a lot of stuff happening, and it's growing. Like a soundstage is coming, and to be an actor in Canada right now, it is probably the most exciting time.
Really,
especially for film. Theater is
it's a different game.
But theater's a different game everywhere because like when was the last time you and your buddies were out on a Friday night and you're like, oh, do you want to see a movie? Do you want to go to a bar? Not once did you ever think, do you want to go see a theater show?
Do you want to go to a show at the Gladstone or the JCTC or, but we have some pretty sick venues in Ottawa and we're kind of lucky.
Thing, like, unless you're in the scene, you almost don't know because it's so hard to
The reason theater will never die because our friends and family have to pay to come see us make bold choices. And
yeah, that's true. I mean, they can't stream it. They can't illegally download our plays.
Were you in that? What was that film?
With Andrew, is that what you're saying?
No, but that's a good one too because I remember that little short film you did for
with James.
Yeah, but it was actually like it was very interesting. Like,
tell me about this film.
I don't know anything about this. You can just watch it later.
Well, no,
it's just like this very artsy. Basically, this couple come home, and there's like a murder, and basically he's like stuck in purgatory while he's dying in the room, and like then it cuts back to just me freaking out, and it's like it's montages of like, memories put together, and it's just called Presence.
So artsy.
Yeah.
It's very artsy.
I felt it. I remember feeling that though. I was like, wow.
You feel it. Like he's a really great. He's very talented. I actually talked to him. I called him the other day, and I was just like, "Hey, Drew." So he's doing well.
So how do you balance trying to make... anyway, sorry. No, before that point.
We digress.
Before that point. The film, I think it's going to be a Netflix film. It was being filmed in Elmont.
I remember seeing
I can't even remember the guy's name.
Oh, buddy from the This Is Us?
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember. And Smythe Casting was doing a bunch of work for that. I hope I get that right.
Smith or Smythe? We have had this conversation 5 times.
No, I just meant I'm pretty sure they're the ones who cast them. I'm pretty sure that is how you say it.
Smythe.
Because I think I call you out on it every time.
Yeah, but I say Smith because I'm not sure, and then I'm like, oh, I thought it was Smythe, but now I'm not sure
Honestly,
anymore.
you could have said any name, and I would have been like, yeah,
it's
okay,
Slytherin
great,
casting?
they're casting it.
Yeah. Like Ottawa in itself, probably like every Christmas movie you see, there's probably about 10 Christmas movies being filmed in Ottawa a year.
Yeah.
Is that because we have so much snow? What is that?
Yeah, so much snow.
I have actually someone who works for me. It works on a production company.
Okay.
And she said, yeah, we have so many Christmas movies because, one, it's cheap, and Ottawa's very picturesque.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
Like the architecture, like the downtown's not too
The odds
too
of it
busy.
snowing are high.
Like the Rito running through all the nice buildings in the back. That it's like a very like nice, easy scene, and you don't have to close a bunch of things off that cost people a bunch of money.
Yeah. And also, nobody cares here. Like, nobody cares.
Like, is that a movie? Oh, yeah, okay, great.
Yeah, I'm too good for that in government.
How how do you balance trying to, live a life, like
Make money?
Yeah. That's one, and pursue this dream,
you have a day job.
Yeah, you have a day job for now. Like I just turned 24 maybe 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
And I did theater school for 3 years out in Toronto. And when I came back, like I knew I had to work harder to make it into the industry because Toronto is where kind of everything is happening. But coming back to Ottawa and seeing what's going on, it's great to actually get involved. But yeah, no, like I'm in the daytime, I'm a construction painter and I'm all across the city, and that's my 8 to 4, and I have a great boss who lets me, go. I'm like, hey man, I got cast in a short film and they need me to be there at 1, and finding the right balance and the right job to kind of do that sort of stuff. And I think also everybody in this community knows that rehearsal should take place after 4 p.m. because people do need to make money. And but you just have to get inventive. You like the Fringe Festival, because like at the end maybe you do walk away with a little bit of cash. Like I just did a show with Theatre Kraken at the Gladstone.
It was awesome.
Yeah, called Liz Estrada, directed by Don Fex. It was really good. It was really well received, and we had worked on that for maybe close to 3 months, and then at the end you got a little bit of pay to come home, and it's really validating.
I totally thought he was bullshit when I first met him. I was like, just another guy from fucking theater school, doesn't know shit, so cocky, here we go. And then I went and saw his play, and I was like, he's different. He's actually talented.
My show about big old dicks.
Literally. He walked out on stage with a giant styrofoam cock. And the clouds were shaped like sexual people banging, and there's the fence posts were penises. You really missed out. Once in a lifetime thing. Anyway.
I never heard about this. Like,
see, but that's what we're talking about.
Yeah. Theater! It was probably so loud. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to.
You can edit
those levels.
Yeah, I know.
No, these are not. These are raw. There's no editing.
No, he just uploads it because that's who Ryan is.
Yeah, we like to do it that way. To me and to most people, I mean, I'm very open when it comes to that type of stuff. But a lot of people wouldn't consider that entertainment or art or theater.
Fair, yeah.
What's the market like for things like that? Or do you just look at it more like it's just experimental? I'm just trying a bunch of different things and getting experience and getting my name out there. And is that more what it's like, or is it like I believe that big dick is going to be great? Like, you know what I mean?
I think
like,
it's just interpreting.
Or was there a metaphor to it?
Oh,
well, it's based like Liz Estrada is a classic.
Oh, it's by Aristophanes. Yeah. It's one of the first ever comedies that it's one of the original comedies ever written that we still have. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of great that we did like a 1950s spin on it, and
okay.
Like, and it's cool because like a bunch of
I'll show you a picture. You just keep talking.
Yeah, like all my friends in Ottawa, the majority of them are not theater people. Mm-hmm. My family are not theater people. I'm surprised I'm in theater, but you get these people who don't go to these things regularly, and like they actually get to do something that's irregular for them, and it's like really exciting because it is that really intimate experience that like if you go see a movie, you can see a movie 1,000 times, but you don't feel that intimacy with the actors on stage. Whereas like there was one night that a fellow cast member of mine knocked over a fence, and God bless her, we played it off, and we had a really amazing improv moment during the show that people were like, oh, that fence was meant to drop, right? I was like, no, that was not rehearsed. She knocked it over, but she played it off like a hero. And it's really great to see an actor be thinking on stage, and it's
not easy.
It's not easy.
Oh, absolutely not.
It's also just like it's so much harder than film, in my opinion. I think it's harder than film.
Yeah, I'm the other way. I like film act. I can just be outrageous and loud and.
No, I think theater is much harder than film. You don't think that?
No,
you think the opposite?
I think the opposite.
I think film is a breeze.
Because like my personality is pretty like big, so I have to like for everybody who's like I am on camera with, they're like, that's great, but like don't move your eyebrows so much, man.
Oh yeah, so you're like the opposite, where
yeah.
my moves are so subtle that no one sees them, and I have to really think about making them bigger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's very opposite.
I'd imagine like I've never like done that, but I've done like smaller like music and talking to people who do things like opera, and that aspect of it being live, and like you said, anything could happen.
So it's a once in a lifetime experience for everybody involved.
Yeah,
Every show.
Everything is very
it's never
intimate
the
at that
same.
point. I wish more people did have an appreciation for theater, and I guess both of you could answer this question. And Clarissa, we've talked about this on our episode, and in real life, like almost every time we see each other, is this aspect of showing up for people. Mm-hmm. So, for the example, like I have the podcast, and I do stuff for mental health, but you have a couple people who support you and maybe do some things, and those things are a little bit more mainstream, I guess you could say. It's real easy to listen to a podcast. It's free. Mm-hmm. Like, how do you find support from, friends and family, and maybe people not necessarily your best friends, but like on an outer circle, like, or people you went to high school with, that social networking circle?
What, like I think
do people support you? Like, do people come out encouraging, share, retweet, whatever it is?
Honestly, man, like I'll tell you, I have one great example for you right now. So I just started a theater company with two of my best friends in Toronto called Keel Creations, and we're going to the Ottawa Fringe Festival in St. John, New Brunswick in August, and we're broke, and we were just really honest, and we went online and we started a GoFundMe, and that was 2 weeks ago, and we're already 1/3 of the way there through friends and family sharing. Like, even if you can't, like, people want to help. People are excited when you do something, because I think that's something I just noticed, like, growing up in my 20s right now. It's people are excited to see people do well and be passionate about things. And if you are passionate about things, like, it'll come. You just have to put the man hours in. And yeah, like, I put out that GoFundMe page, and we set an ambitious $1,500 to cover our costs and really help us get started. And people are responding because they're like, oh, that's exciting for them, and I want to be a part of that journey with them. And that's
I think why you have such an amazing response too is because this isn't you didn't just launch the GoFundMe and you haven't done anything leading up to it.
Right.
You were going to shows, being in shows, doing these things, like you were.
It's being part of the community.
Yeah, and so I think the thing is, if you really want to be a part of something, you need to get your feet wet first before you ask for any kind of reciprocation in return. Mm-hmm. Because, like, I know my family and my friends, am begging them to come. Some of them are like, yeah, sure. Some of them are like, oh, really?
Your brother.
Yeah.
Can you get me free tickets? And I'm like, free tickets? No.
No free tickets.
There is half-off days, and there's a half-off tent. So if you are strapped for
we literally
cash,
have a 11 p.m. show, so if you want to come to see that, I'm pretty sure we have half-price tickets.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
How long's the show?
An hour.
An hour.
Every
so
show
that's
is an
easy to
hour
do.
long.
Every time we're rehearsing it, we're shaving off a minute because we're just getting quicker and
better and tighter and.
So it's coming together. You guys are rehearsing.
Want to hear something crazy?
Yes,
we started rehearsals 22 days ago. Hasn't even been a month, okay? We read the script 22 days ago. We read the script.
like the first draft.
The first draft, we read it 22 days ago. We've probably had only 10 rehearsals?
Yeah, something like that.
So how did you guys put this together as a group? There's a director, there's a writer.
So the playwright who entered the lottery for Fringe is Valerie Cardinal, and she's based in Toronto. And so she entered the lottery without actually having the completed script.
Okay.
So we got that basically. We auditioned for the show in March.
You didn't even.
I didn't even audition.
You sent in video submissions.
I sent in video submissions. So basically, So I was. This is why. Okay, it's not because I was going to Costa Rica and I applied to this thing. I saw it on Facebook and he was like, you know what? I'm gonna apply. I had 2 days. He responded to me the night that I was leaving before Costa Rica. So the night before I left for Costa Rica in the morning. It was 8 p.m. and he's like, can you give me the auditions tomorrow or whatever? And I was like, I can't make the audition. Can I send self-tapes, which is just you tape whatever the monologue is they send you and that's your audition. And he's like, yeah. He's like, can you do these 5?
These 5 monologues.
Yeah. And then he's just like, and I'll send you one to do again, like a callback almost. So I literally created and memorized all the monologues and sent them in. So I created 5 self-tapes in one night right before. I was up until 3 in the morning, and then I slept for an hour, and then I got on a plane.
Honestly, I make fun of you for not auditioning, but you probably did more work.
More work than everybody.
Yeah, and I auditioned.
Yeah, and so I was at the airport just freaking out because the Wi-Fi wasn't working. My email wasn't sending. I was in Costa Rica in a hostel with terrible Wi-Fi, and I'm like, I can't send the email. I can't send the email. Having a panic attack, and then, I got it.
Why? Like, what made you? I mean, it's easy for Nick. Maybe,
Yeah, I knew it. Yeah,
explain
why you're doing this.
You're trying to make this a career. Like, I mean, knowing you for whatever 4, 5, 6 years that I've known you, you've always had that kind of personality that is bigger than what you've been doing. It's always seemed, right? That you've always needed like a bigger platform for whatever it was, like whether it was something you said, your ideas, your creativity. Like it just seemed like what you were doing was never big enough for who you were.
That's fair.
So, like, why? I could see it maybe, but why did you do it?
Why do you think I did it?
I thought you were asking me, I would say because you were bored and wanted to try something.
I mean, that's always a reason. I am constantly bored. I'm very just like, but not in the sense that I'm like, I'm bored, I'm going to watch Netflix for 5 hours. It's like, I'm bored in the sense of like, there's got to be more.
Yeah.
I got to know more people. I got to do more things. I got to experience more things.
Some people join a beer league softball team.
Yeah.
Clarissa joined to play.
Yeah. I mean, I guess you can put it that way. I don't know. I just want to like do as many things as I can before it's too late.
Okay, fair enough.
And also, like, if I don't want to miss any opportunities, because I think it's so easy. Like, it's so easy to just be content, and I feel like time is just like wasting away my life, and it's just going by so
You're
fast.
25.
No, I don't mean like I feel old. I mean that
That's the whole theme of this play, by the way.
That's the whole theme of this play.
Oh.
Okay, yeah. That was are you coming? First of all, let's just.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to make a night.
Beautiful.
So I'm not just saying that. I'm not
Please
gonna
meet
try
your
to make a
girlfriend.
night.
She'll love it. Anyway, yeah, so it's a tough question to answer. I don't know. I don't really know. Maybe I secretly want to be an actress and I just never want to say it out loud. Actor. But maybe I don't. I don't know.
You have on record you saying, I will never say actress.
I know. I just said it because I know.
That's what. See, this is the thing. The intimate live conversation of a performance.
I am a
anything
liar.
Can happen.
That is constant.
But yeah, if you were to ask, like you asked me why I thought you did it, and it's because I thought like you were bored and wanted to just do something different. Because that's to me that's kind of your thing. And the last time we talked, you're like, I work. I have my little investment thing, and that's all going well, and like that's all great. But like I said, like
yeah, it's got to be it. Like,
me knowing you, it's just like you've always needed more to your life, more substance, more.
Greedy.
It's good though.
I'm selfish and greedy, and I want it all, man. Can I just have everything I want?
Would you do it now that you've done it and got a taste? Are you gonna try to keep at it, or is it like I'm done, I'm out?
No, I'm in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Are you gonna hire her for your next play?
Yeah, you're gonna hire her.
No, but that's only because it's already written and it's already going up. But maybe we were talking.
One?
We were talking about.
I have this really amazing idea. Don't you dare say anything.
No, I'm not going to say for a horror film. There's a horror film festival coming up. I think ran by a guy named Vincent Valentino, and we're thinking of submitting your idea because I thought that was really cool, and I want to help you make it. So.
Okay, stay tuned for that. I'm not going to give
You're
any
gonna write
details.
a play now too.
Yeah, which
a short film.
Write a short film.
A short horror film.
Yeah.
Okay.
Possibly direct and star, and then we'll see. It's
I'm gonna film it all.
It's a lot. I have actually a really good camera, so I don't know. We
can figure this out.
This doesn't need to be hashed out on this podcast right now.
No, we need to know right now. Are you gonna do it?
Yeah, I'll do it. I'm just like, this is over in 2 weeks, and then I'm bored again. Like, I can't. Yeah. Like, the thing is, everything just ends. Like, yeah, you work 9 to 5, and then you go home. I don't have children. Like, if I had kids, I would not be doing anything, and that's why I'm just like, no, not for me. Like, you guys can go to the bar and have your wing nights. I'm gonna do other things until it's like too late for me.
And then maybe get a drink after.
Yeah, and then maybe, first of all, I've been drinking every night this week. Just because we can. But Nick's a bad influence.
Am I?
Yeah.
All right.
I digress again. I'm sorry. We're so tired.
Yeah, we have our preview night tomorrow. So I guess by the time you're hearing this, the preview night at Ottawa Fringe is happening. So where we get 2 minutes to spiel about our show.
Oh, okay.
And then after that, we just start running it.
So opening night is Thursday. June 13th at 6:30 p.m. at Academic Hall. And if you've ever been to the University of Ottawa, you know it's like right across from Tabaret.
Okay, let's talk. So now we got to take it back of people who know nothing about Ottawa U.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, first of all, Academic Hall is one of the oldest theater buildings in Ottawa.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it's one of the oldest theaters. Yeah, Google it. It's a thing. I was trying to figure out how many seats it has to like psych myself up. It has like 143 or something like that.
It's big.
Yeah. It's okay.
It's always a beautiful space. We just got to see it today for the first time.
And it's so creepy and old. And we were talking to some of the techs, and I'm like, first question, is it haunted? I need to know, because I'm like, gonna try,
do a little seance before.
Well, yeah, they were like not impressed, but I'm sure they've tried.
Yeah, they won't let us burn candles. It's a theater. They don't let you do that anymore.
Really?
No.
Yeah, no.
Well, because it burned down twice already, and they
think of the amount of buildings they let you.
What are the odds a third time?
Why not let it be Clarissa Barron who burns down Academic Hall? Why not?
That could be her calling.
No, arson is not my calling.
You can do a remake of Firestarter.
Can I just be Carrie?
I could do that too, actually.
It's a compliment. I feel like, you know what? I have such good friends. You guys really hype me up.
I mean, what's the response from your friends? Like, you talked about it a little bit, but like, are you literally having to beg people come, or like?
No, not beg, but I think people are always just like,
they're surprised.
What do you mean?
Yeah.
First of all, the play is called Happy Birthday, Claire. So when I sent the Facebook invitation out, people just thought I was inviting them to my birthday party.
Actually, I thought that too. That's why I looked at it.
This is just the worst. So I had to explain to a ton of people that I was like, they're like, why is she celebrating your birthday on multiple days and multiple times? I was like, it's a play.
Because you want it all.
I do want it all, but it's a play, and I don't even play Claire, so.
Yeah.
Is Claire the star?
Honestly,
or is it kind of more?
It's an ensemble piece.
It's evenly.
Everyone gets like a really great
moment. Like everyone has a moment.
Everyone has a great moment. There's also free cake at the end of every show.
Every show we give away free cake and candy, possibly.
How do you have that budget?
See, this is why this is like, you can make money, but if you really put it into the show, you put it into the show.
Yeah.
So the way the proceeds work is you buy your ticket, which all the proceeds go to the cast and the directors and the ERs. And then you buy a $3 fringe pin, which goes directly to the festival. So you have to have the fringe pin to go to the shows, but that's how Fringe makes its money. Yeah. And so Fringe happens all over the country, all over the world.
Oh, it's a recognizable charity, I believe.
And it's actually, it's been around since 1997.
Right on.
Yeah.
Okay.
What year did you say?
Does it travel? Like, is it the same festival that travels, or it's like
no?
It's like
set up within the city.
Yeah, within the city. So like, there's a Toronto Fringe, there's an Ottawa Fringe. I'm going to the Fundy Fringe in St. John.
Okay.
Like there's a Glasgow Fringe.
But there is traveling shows. So for example, Fuckboys the Musical was in Florida, Orlando.
Is that where it just was?
Yeah, I think so. And now they're coming here.
Yeah.
I think so.
So they're kind of big. Got it.
Yeah, they're big, but like also we have a local advantage.
It's the Fringe circuit.
Maybe next year I'll get them on the podcast.
There you go.
Yeah, maybe.
They come back.
The musical.
Hey, fuck boys.
What's attendance? What's the support? Okay, so we're talking outside of your communities. What's like the actual support in terms of local in Ottawa for Ottawa Fringe? Like, is it well attended? Like, is it like sold out every night? Like, is it like lots of people?
It depends on how you market, and it comes down to pestering a little bit because you do want people to come see your show. Everybody in the Fringe, it's a great atmosphere. They have a tent, like a beer tent set up, and everyone's always hanging around in between shows. It's a party. It's a 10-day long party full of art.
Like-minded people that just want to have fun and network, and it's a great networking opportunity. Phenomenal.
Yeah.
Obviously. And then, it's happens everywhere. Like, you're going to St. John's.
Yeah,
New Brunswick?
New Brunswick, yeah.
Okay, that's confusing a little bit because I want to say
John.
I want to say Newfoundland.
And they would not like that. You said that.
I'm sorry.
Okay, that's pretty interesting. Excellent. Happy birthday, Claire.
Egg salad.
Ottawa U Ottawa Academic Hall, which is venue 3.
Yep.
What's that close? How close is that to Nicholas?
It's like right off of Nicholas. You know where like Laurier Station is?
Yeah.
Yeah, like
where that guy was doing like those burnouts earlier this year.
I'm gonna say, for the sake of interest, yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Remember that guy driving in his van through Ottawa U's parking lot?
I actually think that is there. So Tabaret has like these giant pillars. It's the building literally. If you're on the side with the pillars, it's the building literally to the right of it.
Yeah.
Okay, I've seen performances at Ottawa U, so now I'm trying to like map through. Anyway.
It's a very old building. So you'll know.
Well, no, what? No, it'll be easier. I'll just share the Facebook event or whatever, the website, whatever you have, and then people can just click on it instead of me trying to tell it.
We do. Honestly, I was just like, we were actually still at rehearsal, and I was like, hey, Alan, which is our director.
Oh yeah, we had to do stuff, and we're like, hey man, like there's a podcast, and
So
we're gonna go talk about the show. That's why we're going. And he's like, okay, fine, but memorize your lines. Not that they're not memorized. This is for preview night.
So
tomorrow.
yeah, I don't know my lines for preview night. Not gonna lie, I don't know what I'm saying.
My two lines are cheers, mate, and
don't give it away.
She's pretty cool.
But I can't see
English.
preview night.
Oh, I'm
He's
English. Yeah.
You already said that he's kind of British.
Kind of British.
Yeah, he's
just kind of
British. I'm not British.
Yeah, that was more like Australian. You had a little more of a twang.
Oh my
to
gosh,
it.
though, but when, in rehearsal, Nick would just switch from like us.
Oh, I was trying to figure it out.
To Australian to Irish.
There's this. I think I could give away this one line. I have this one line, and it's none taken. That dog is gold. Almost a better model than me. Now, if it were a cat, that would be something to talk about. And I would go about 5 different accents, from Australian to Russian to Scottish to my actual accent, because I'm supposed to be Cockney. But I was like, that dog is gold. And then I would just freak out. I'm like, I'm starting to sound like Conor McGregor at certain points.
Yeah, I was going to say, is that why you're an Instagram model, not an actual model? Because no one wants to hear you talk.
Oh, there's a line about that too, man.
Yeah, it's really meta. Like, I feel like everyone will relate to this play. You're going to be, like, every person in the play, you can be like, I relate to that person in some way. Like, everyone has a Renee in their life. Everyone has a Claire. Everyone has an Alex. Everyone has a John.
Yeah, maybe.
In their life. Well.
They have parts
Uncle
of John.
John's?
Uncle John's.
Everyone has a weird Uncle John.
Okay. Silence for a second while I collect this very deep thought.
Yes, please.
Is it meant to just be a very just a positive experience, like not a lot of meaning behind it, or is there like a very?
I think. Yeah, continue. Sorry.
Is it like there a meaning to it? Is there something like an underlying theme to it that like people should maybe pick up?
Can I answer this?
Okay. You go for it.
I think you should take it at face value, but if the deeper meaning hits you, great. It's the grass is greener. That's our hashtag. Grass is greener. Hashtag grass is greener. Just think about that. That's
I like that it's very vague.
Yeah,
it's very.
We want you to come see the show.
Yeah, we want you to come see it.
Because it's going to
We're
be a fun
both
time.
in it. If you're a
Do
fan
you
of either of
have
us.
free tickets? No. Is there a media night?
A media?
No, but we can send you a press release if you want.
No, I want a media night.
Well, you could probably get a free ticket if we send you free. I don't even know.
I'll pay.
I'm a struggling artist. Come pay.
I have a full-time job, but like I would
So do
appreciate you to come.
Want to know my favorite thing? People
We're
are always
exhausted.
like,
We're always so tired. Like,
my favorite thing is when people are like, well, you'll get exposure. You know, like,
my rent is exactly 700 exposures.
Exposures.
If I go, okay, well, why do you want me to come to this thing? Not me personally, but as my job. They're like, oh, well, it'd be great for exposure. I'm like, exposure isn't paid the bills.
No.
Does that happen with radio stations too? It does, eh? Like people are like, yeah, your radio station. We've been around for 10 years, Debbie.
Yeah.
Like I think we're good.
Debbie.
Yeah, just it's like, what's your budget? Well, we don't really have one, and well, if you don't have a budget,
I saw this thing on one of the Facebook groups for acting around Ottawa. And they were looking for a commercial, and I don't care about calling them out on this because it was just bullshit. And they were like, we don't have a budget for actors, so you'd be volunteering your time. But if you're a big enough name, we're willing to negotiate. It's like, oh, so if you're like, how am I supposed to make a big name? It's not going to be for your shitty commercial, for your shitty company. And why would I? Oh, yeah. Oh, that just.
I think you appreciate. There's an account. I think it's on Instagram and Twitter, but it's called For Exposure.
Okay.
And it just is like DMs that people submit
terrible.
Of people
No way.
of artists, of people like business, like private, like a self-funded business, like people asking for a service or a product.
Yeah.
But like then when they go, okay, well, what's your budget, or do you want to like? It's going to cost $300. People like flipping out and basically just like. Well, I thought you'd want my business, but no. And it's just, it's really, you should look, you both would appreciate it because people would be like, well, we can use you.
Yeah.
Well, like if podcasts say were, you paid people to be on podcasts, because some people actually want that. I'd be like, well, like, what do you mean pay? Like, you're on my podcast, you get exposure, man.
Yeah.
You mean you want a paycheck? Like,
we did come here for exposure today.
Totally.
Yeah,
but we're like,
it's okay. I don't have a budget, man.
Yeah, that's great.
I'm not struggling.
Well, that's also the
host.
thing, right? Because like I've done, I think 4 short films in the span of 8 months. I didn't get paid for a single one, but that's because I like working with these people. I'm building a demo reel. Like, if there's a mutual understanding, like, no one's making money off of this. We're doing it for fun. Then we're doing it for fun, and that's great.
That's the thing, right? You got to find.
But if somebody's making money and they're not paying you,
yeah, that's wrong.
That's fucked up.
Yeah, you got to find that. I mean, there is people now that I'm starting to get into this podcast world. There's a good network of people, even in Ottawa, that like do things like you do stuff with each other, like so. Yeah, basically, like exchange a good for a good or service
but
or
that's
service.
Not free. That's a good for a good.
Exactly.
Like,
yeah.
That's the difference that people don't understand. Exposure. If I'm doing something for you and I get nothing out of it, that's not fair. But like literally, for example, like if I did give you a free ticket, not saying I'm going to, that would kind of be like, contra. Like let us on your podcast. Say, for example, people paid to be on your podcast.
I'll donate $6 if you donate $6.
Yeah, but you still need to buy the fringe pin.
Yeah. You buy your own fringe pin.
If you're lucky, you can just find one on the ground. Just walk around downtown.
People don't do that, do they?
Okay,
yeah.
we were talking about
That's
this today.
sad.
We're like, oh, they make them so small, and I think it might be. I think it might be a little.
We caught on. We understand. They're small for a reason.
I know I lose small things all the time.
And you're gonna change clothes. It's on one sweater. You wear a different clothes another
like,
day. You're like, I'll just buy another one.
Oh, well, it's just $3.
It's one pin for the entire festival.
Yeah, but at the same time, if they have to buy more, great, because I love the Ottawa Fringe. Love you guys. So support.
That's why I
It's
would
fun.
support
The
it.
programs are so nice. I didn't bring my bag in, but I could.
I'll just bring a bunch of podcast gift cards. Just
Amazing.
Yeah.
gift cards,
Absolutely.
business cards.
There you go.
Toss
Gift
them
cards.
out. Okay, cool. That's gonna be fun.
Yeah, I'm
Are
glad.
you guys excited?
I'm so excited.
I'm so excited, but I'm scared.
Yeah.
Nervous?
I'm nervous.
I've been stressed these past couple of weeks because I finished Liz Estrada, and then we closed, and the next day I was in rehearsal for this, so I haven't had a second to like stop. So I've just been like really stressed, but now that we're getting to the show, I'm getting really excited again. And
I'm just nervous.
You're just nervous.
I'm just nervous.
You're gonna go out and forget your line.
We were talking about that too.
We were talking about that, and I was just like, you know what? Even if I forget, I'll just be like,
Ad-lib?
whatever,
Yeah.
and just like walk off stage.
I'm pretty sure like your first line is "Hey." Like,
That's
hello.
a good start.
It's a good start.
Like, I'll just figure it out. Like, it makes sense. If you know what's happening next, you can figure it out. And you just hope your castmates save you. It's like, yeah.
One thing I've always wanted to know about people who plays or operas or these concert type things, performances, like, how do you memorize lines? That is like, how do you memorize?
Everybody has their
a
own
full
method.
hour of like lines.
You memorize the whole play, like, essentially. Yeah. So I do it really weird, and I just literally need to practice out loud. So I'll be like in my shower saying my lines, or I'll be typing and writing it out by hand. Like, sometimes if I really am struggling, I'll write the actual sentence out by hand.
Mm-hmm.
And I find that helps me memorize.
If I'm ever in a rut, one of my teachers, Kelly McAvenue at Humber, she taught us what's called the compound word exercise. So, like, let's use a Shakespeare line, for example. It's like, to be or not to be. So you go, to be or, and you do that for the entire monologue. And, like, it's so cemented in your brain at that point. And then, like, you can remember looking at, me personally, I remember looking.
Word. You just need one word. So, like, if you forget a line on stage, you're like someone
line
just gave me one word, I could finish this shit.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I swear stage managers have, like, one of the shittiest jobs because you'll ask them for line and they'll say your line, they'll say the first word, and then you, like, yell over top of them because you remember immediately because they said the first word. And they're like, oh, I'm just doing my job. And this guy yelled at me. And I love all my stage managers. They are the most...
Shout out to Natasha, our current one.
Yo, Natasha, can you call it?
Oh, yeah. Literally, she gets shut out in the show. Anyway, we're not going to... No, don't worry about it. Yeah. It's a very... We do a lot... Like, you have no idea what's happening next in the show. I'll give it to that. Like, you really can't predict it. No one is going to be able to predict this show, right? You really won't be able to.
I don't even know what's going on.
You
Is that a
really
good thing
won't
or a
be...
bad thing?
It's a good thing
It's
because...
a really good thing.
People will be like, I have no idea where this is going.
Yeah.
So you need to see the, like, does it need to be one of those things that's watched into completion? To totally, like,
don't fucking walk
pull
out
it
halfway
together?
through.
Here's the deal.
No, that's what I'm saying, though,
If
right?
we
Like,
go over time, they just cut us. So you have an hour. So if we're like halfway through, we just really sucked and just like bombed, they'll cut you, and that's it.
Let me rephrase the question. Like, not like a twist ending or anything like that, but like the end definitely like sums up the rest, and you're just like, oh, like, you know what I mean? Like, is there just that kind of like aha or whoa moment, or is it just kind of just like a fluid story that just
it's pretty fluid.
It's pretty fluid.
It's pretty fluid. It flows really nicely. I would say almost every character has
climax.
I think every character's arc, they all go on a journey.
It completes,
I don't know if mine really does, but it fits the play perfectly, so it doesn't matter if John gets a perfect ending.
Your perfect ending is just to chill out.
Okay.
Sure.
I didn't give anything away by saying that.
No, it's you've left it very vague, which is good.
Yeah.
The more you give,
we should work on an Avengers movie. We better be way better than like Tom Holland.
I'd die.
I die. Robert Downey Jr.
Take a step back a little bit, okay? Because you guys are both obviously very passionate about the play.
Are we?
You're in, like, you know, like
it's a podcast.
That's just who
you
we
couldn't
are.
see the face.
Whatever.
But try to look at it objectively for me.
Sure.
Why, as a regular person, should I come and watch the play?
To support me.
If I don't know you.
Okay.
A random person who's just like, I want to listen to Life in Red today. Just bloop.
All right. Everybody is walking around doing whatever they're doing. And I think, like, honestly, a goal of mine is somebody we kind of did this the other day. We were driving and we just saw a concert going on. And we had no idea what was going on, but it draws you in. I would love the air of the festival, because you're going to feel it when you're walking around. You're going to see everyone's going to be so happy. And if you see that, I don't care if you see our show. Well, I do. But, like, honestly, I want people to experience theater this summer. The weather is getting really nice out. And you're gonna sense a really palpable vibration going on in the city while this is going on. And if you just if you could see one show, it could be Happy Birthday Claire, or whatever show. But I think you're gonna walk away with just, it's really nice when you take those moments to, like, let a little bit of art into your life, and it makes you appreciate that day as a whole, because it'll make you appreciate your breakfast more. I find.
I don't eat breakfast, so I don't know.
You don't eat breakfast.
Sorry.
But, like, no, it makes when you talk to somebody the next day, you want to say everything about your day leading up to that. Like, yeah, I had a nice coffee. I sat down with myself, and then
it's
like,
a moment without
I listened
your
to a
phone.
good pod. It's a moment without your phone, which is great.
Yeah. How often do you just turn your phone off for an hour?
And if you have your phone ringing in the play,
I will come.
Don't
hit
worry,
you.
It's theater. I can fucking call you out for it. It's not a movie, so
yeah. Hey. You in the back. Just go up to them and be like, just blow. Never mind. Or just not blow anything. Or do blow. I'm just kidding. You're like, what's going on?
Yeah, I'm like...
It's rated PG, I swear.
Rated PG.
Oh, you see your phone and do some blow. Interesting.
Okay.
Yeah, I see that train of thought.
No, just come see the show and you'll know exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
We blow something.
What?
Oh.
Yeah.
There's a birthday cake. There's a birthday cake.
I was gonna say,
there's candles on birthday cake.
Like, I'm like, damn, Ottawa Fringe.
PG.
I mean, okay, so you talk about theater, and it sounds all great, and I'm with you. Like, I'm very passionate about the arts and letting things like music into your life, whether it's not theater per se. You get a lot of people, especially when you get into government cuts and budgets and stuff like that. And a lot of people say the arts are where you need to cut first, because why do you need that? Why do people need art in their life? Why is it important? I mean, I have a
good answer. I want to know. You answer. I want to answer. Okay.
I have my things for it, obviously, but like, what is it about for you, Nick, that art? You wanted to make a career out of this.
Yeah, man.
Clarissa, you can answer after, but like, why art? Why is this such an important aspect?
Oh man, like I got into art really young. It wasn't even theater. I was like a magician at like 11. I would watch like card tricks on YouTube and figure it out, and then I would do talent shows, and then I fell in love with an audience experience, because it was that intimate feeling that is shared between a bunch of people. And I think that's a lot for like musicians and whatnot. And then I naturally fell into theater. And then I remember hearing this quote once. I think it's Winston Churchill. I might just be so fucking wrong. But he said something along the lines of during World War II or leading up to, and they were getting ready for the war and building up provisions. Like, we need to cut art. And I believe he said, like, well, if we cut art, then what are we fighting for? You know what I mean? Like, it's you see when, like, society is thriving, that's when art starts to thrive, and, like, art reflects society. That's why we're getting so many different stories on stage and hearing all these different voices, and the art transforms the culture. It really does.
Yeah, one of my favorite things is when life is shitty or there's a bad government. That's when, like, art gets really
thrives.
good.
I was like, when Trump was elected, I was like, oh fuck, punk music's gonna have a real great revival right now.
Rage Against the Machine to come back out.
We were listening to Rage Against the Machine on the way here. Yeah.
Wow, small world.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it's really interesting. Like you said, it thrives. And like in medieval times, they used to put on plays to distract their citizens from like disease
how shitty it
was and how they were manipulated. And like, you know, it's just a distraction. But at the same time, I also think that art is really special because, like, obviously, I have no specific medium like you. I kind of just do a bunch of different random shit. But I like the same reason I think I do it is the same. The reason I do it is the same. Is essentially to connect with people on a different level and make them feel some sort of way. Like, if I can make you laugh or cry or think differently about something, I would literally, that's all I want, is I just want people, like, to connect on a different level than we currently are connecting. Because, like, you're in the audience and you're watching me, and I might never see you, and you might have thoughts that I had no idea you would have about the show. And it could, like, change something or the way you think about something or give you a positive outlook that day. Like, that's what Happy Birthday, Claire really is. It's just really positive. Yeah. And at the end of the day, you're just going to be like, that was really wholesome, man.
Yeah, super wholesome.
Super wholesome. So, you know, art thrives because people want to just feel things and be connected. And I think that's the easiest way.
One of the greatest things, like, I've witnessed, especially when I was doing Liz Estrada, if somebody laughed, it might be such a funny laugh that other audience members start laughing at that person in the audience laughing. Isn't that great? Because that has nothing to do with anything I'm doing.
Yeah.
That's just people in a room, like, enjoying each other's company. Holy fuck, that's just great. And we're doing that so sincerely. Fuck. Fuck.
I'm so deep.
Yeah,
so fucking
very introspective.
Deep,
well,
I'm an artist. I'm so deep.
Listen, you guys are both very passionate about it, and I can hear that through talking to you, and I'm sure listening, you can hear that how excited you guys are about this show. So I think, you know, if you're in the Ottawa area, absolutely come check out Ottawa Fringe. That's going on. Is that okay? So June 13th
to the 23rd.
To the 23rd.
Not every day, but
we're not every day, but there is shows every day.
There are shows every day going on.
So it's a 10-day festival, and there's shows every day. We have 6 shows.
On the 13th, 15th, 16th, 19th, 21st, 23rd.
And if you want more details, go to happybirthdayclaire.com, and all of the details will be right there. There's a Facebook group.
What a great segue.
Yeah,
You're so good at that.
Well, I do have experience, but we're not going to get into that.
We'll make sure that we share that out when we
we'll share it all out. You can follow Nick at...
Nick Maillet, Nickmaillet.
You're saying it too fast.
Nickmaillet.
I've already lost it.
It's okay. I'll send it to you.
And of course, Clarissa Barron, you are
absolutely at Clarissa Barron.
Aren't you chaotic neutral? No, that's just your thing.
That's your Twitter.
That's just my Instagram. My Instagram actual handle is at Clarissa Barron 1993 because Clarissa Barron is taken from this chick in Barcelona. Damn you. I know, but I got my Twitter. I got Clarissa Barron on Twitter, so that's good. And also, if you Google me, it's just a riot. Just like so much stuff comes up.
YouTube,
I still haven't done
Vine.
Oh, just don't Google me. Just don't do it. There's a track record from like 2001. I came 6th.
Really?
Yeah.
What? On Google?
Yeah. If you type in your name sometimes, like from like whatever school. But I actually had a different name, but that's a different story. Just totally wrong.
Oh my goodness. Okay. Yeah. Happy birthday, Claire. June 13th.
That's our opening 23rd. Night. And come to the first 4 shows if you can, because
if you do,
we could win Best of Fest.
And we would love you.
Yeah. You guys are already like so much in sync. Happy birthday, Claire.
Like, it's not a joke. We've literally, in the last like 22 days, we've probably spent like 80 hours together.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Crazy that you guys haven't met before this.
No.
Like, this is like...
No, we've talked about it. We're like, oh.
And we also have like so much in common. It's like disturbing.
Yeah. Fuck.
You kind of look... Yeah, anyway.
We look what?
Say it.
I don't want to... I was going to say, like, I could see, like, a brother-sister dynamic. But then I was like, wow.
We play a couple in the show.
I know. Then I was like, wow, I really hope
But
they don't start
met my
dating
brother.
after this.
You met my brother, right?
Yeah.
Still? Really?
He could be another brother.
I could be.
I
another
have 3
brother.
brothers already. I think we're good.
Yeah. Happy birthday, Claire. You can follow Life in Red Podcast at Life in Red Podcast on Facebook, Instagram, and Life in Red Pod on Twitter. lifeinredpodcast.com. Clarissa Barron, Nick Maillet.
Maillet.
Good one. I've never heard that before. Miquelette? Or you were writing it when I was spelling it.
I was trying to figure it out.
Yes,
anyway, thank you. Best of luck at the show.
Thank you.
I hope you guys had the time of your life, and I hope everyone listening and all your friends and family and people you don't even know come out.
That's so
Absolutely.
sweet. Thank you so
Beautiful.
much.
Thank you so much,
Come
man.
see your show.
Bye, everybody.
You take the red pill. You stay in Wonderland. And I show you how deep the rabbit